Once upon a time, our world was ruled by dinosaurs. They roamed where we walk today, breathed the same air, and fought their battles on this very Earth. These massive, incredible creatures dominated the planet for about 160 million years. There were thousands of dinosaur species. Some were plant eaters, others were fierce carnivores. Some were gentle and calm, while others were violent and downright dangerous. Dinosaurs thrived in all shapes and sizes, with hundreds of species spread across the globe. They were the most successful creatures of their time. But then, something catastrophic happened. What was the event that wiped them out completely? To find out, we need to travel back millions of years and take a closer look at the final days of the dinosaurs. So let's go back, 65 million years to be exact. Around 65 million years ago, the Earth was a pretty normal place. The climate was warm and pleasant, and most of the land was covered in lush green forests, vibrant plants, and colorful flowers. Sunlight bathed the landscape, cool ocean breezes rustled through towering trees, and the air was filled with the roars and calls of dinosaurs. Alongside them lived another species, small, mouse-like creatures that would one day evolve into the thousands of mammal species we know today. While dinosaurs were living their best lives, their fate had already been sealed 100 million years earlier. Way out in space, a small chunk of an asteroid collided with a much larger one in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, about 200 million miles from Earth. That collision knocked the bigger asteroid off course, sending it hurtling toward Earth at a blistering 22,000 miles per hour. What we're looking at now is an unnamed asteroid, one that would soon become the killer of countless species. This thing was massive, bigger than Mount Everest, stretching high and wide from the ocean floor to the edge of the atmosphere. When it was about 238,000 miles away from Earth, it could have missed us. If it had hit the moon instead, maybe the dinosaurs would have survived. But fate had other plans. This monster asteroid, 40 kilometers wide and weighing 2 trillion metric tons, passed dangerously close to the moon and kept speeding toward Earth. As it entered our atmosphere, its speed skyrocketed to 70,000 kilometers per hour. Friction turned it into a terrifying fireball. It tore through the thin layer between space and Earth in mere seconds, racing toward the Yucatan Peninsula at nearly 60 times the speed of sound. This thing was moving so fast, it crossed the Atlantic Ocean in just 4 minutes. At 500 miles above the surface, its glow was so intense it made the massive Alamosaurus's body look almost transparent. The brightness was blinding. Thousands of creatures were incinerated just from the heat of this blazing fireball before it even hit the ground. They couldn't see the meteor, but they sure felt its scorching heat. Moments later, the asteroid slammed into the shallow waters of the Gulf of Mexico. The impact unleashed a devastating explosion with energy equivalent to 35,000 degrees Celsius, about the power of 10 hydrogen bombs. The blast lit up the sky, turning the ocean floor into molten, boiling plasma. The heat was so intense it incinerated everything within a 1,500-kilometer radius. The air temperature soared to 600 degrees Celsius, burning dinosaurs alive where they stood. The explosion sent a supersonic shockwave ripping through the atmosphere at 2,000 kilometers per hour, vaporizing thousands of animals instantly. Boulders the size of buildings were flung into the air. The shockwave shattered anything in its path, soil, plants, animals, hurling debris thousands of kilometers away. When those massive rocks crashed back down, they crushed giants like the Alamosaurus, wiping them out. The impact was so powerful it flung millions of tons of Earth's material into space. It carved a crater 180 kilometers wide and 25 kilometers deep. The metal and rock from that crater turned into a massive cloud of dust. Just 16 minutes and 40 seconds after the impact, seismic waves with a magnitude of 11.1 rocked the planet. This was likely the most powerful earthquake any living creature had ever experienced in billions of years. The quake triggered enormous ocean waves, turning into kilometer-high tsunamis that surged across the globe. It also set off every active volcano on Earth. In India, volcanic eruptions raged for 300 years, covering half the subcontinent in lava. On the other side of the planet, the Earth's crust split open by hundreds of meters, spelling doom for dinosaurs everywhere. The falling debris and searing heat set forests ablaze worldwide. These fires burned for months, turning Earth into a scorching hell. A massive dust storm, traveling at 6,000 kilometers per hour, swept across the planet with temperatures of 1,500 degrees Celsius. This deadly cloud of hot, toxic gases consumed thousands of creatures and plants. The dust was so thick it blocked out the sun, plunging the Earth into darkness. With temperatures exceeding 200 degrees Celsius, nearly all plant life burned to ash. 90 minutes after the impact, the planet's temperature spiked to 300 degrees Celsius. Dinosaurs miles away from the impact couldn't escape the heat. By the end of that fateful day, thousands of dinosaurs were gone. From the ashes of this old world, the survivors emerged. The Earth was inherited by creatures that were good at hiding, animals that found shelter underground during the floods, fires, and storms. These small creatures would eventually evolve into countless species, including birds, the direct descendants of dinosaurs, and mammals, which would one day dominate the planet. If you enjoyed this video, please give it 50,000 likes and share it with your friends and family. If you're new to our channel, subscribe to Amazing Mysteries for more fascinating videos like this. We'll see you in the next video with a brand new topic. Until then, this is Neha Agarikar signing off. Take care.